Stephen?
Andrew?
Fancy spending a quiet night inside number 9?
Yeah, let's.
We're heading into Cold Comfort this week. Script book dive. Yeah.
Smooth.
Cheers. Yeah, as we sort of dive into the script books, have a look at the kind of the scripts and compare them with the shows themselves, and see if there's anything we've missed. See if there's anything that's been added or taken away. And that's what we're doing again today.
Disclaimer.
If you haven't heard our podcast before, then we recommend going and listening to the original first, what was it? Like first initial impression sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because we're not going to rehash.
Halfway through series 2 and you haven't decided what it's called.
I just find words hard. We've been through this before, but yeah, we're not going to rehash stuff we talked about on that original episode, particularly. So this, I think, will be a very short episode.
But then we always say that.
Yeah, and sometimes it's right.
Sometimes, yeah.
Last week was quite short. Last week was short.
It was. Even Simon remarked on how short it was this week.
Did he? I missed that.
It was a short one.
Yeah, I cut out a couple of bits.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, just didn't think it was appropriate.
We'll talk about those later. Once we've finished recording.
Yeah, we will. Yes,
yeah,
and
we will. We'll have words.
I didn't cut out the acting, though. We did have we had a mixed reaction to it.
No, it wasn't mixed, though, was it? It was overwhelmingly positive. 71% of listeners would like to hear that again.
Well, you can go back and listen again. Great, perfect. Yeah, I'm not desperate to rush back into that. Like I did feel it felt like, you know, a lot of pressure afterwards to just think, actually, I don't know, learning the lines and stuff is really hard.
And getting another person involved as well.
Yeah.
It's sort of difficult with a third person.
Administrative nightmare. Just absolute nightmare. Yeah, so I feel like maybe we are just kind of dancing around the fact there's not a huge amount to talk about. The first thing I noticed was just these kinds of directions with Liz. There's a few bits with Liz that I picked up, and the whole thing with a pen and paper. There's a few directions around Liz. So I think when she picks up the phone early on, doesn't she? Mm-hmm. When Andy's desk is empty, and we kind of get that establishing shot. Phone rings at Andy's desk, and Liz goes and picks it up. There's no one there, so she hangs up. And then it says, Liz tries the pen tries the pen on the paper, sees that it works, and takes it with her as she wheels herself away. When I read that, I just put a massive question mark next to it, because that doesn't happen.
Wheels herself away?
In her, I think she wheels. Does she scoot across in her chair?
Oh, maybe.
I put a question mark next to that because I was like, she doesn't do that. Why is that there? But then it seems to become a part of something else that's also missing, which is the Joanne. Oh yeah, first Joanne conversation.
I've just realised something.
Oh yeah,
the fact that George has this awful relationship with Liz, yet Liz is so awful at this, at actually wanting to sit on the phones helping people, that George has no way of pulling a stunt like he does on Andy with her to cause her distress and a breakdown.
That's very true.
Because she's so self-involved that she wouldn't react to it.
No.
And it almost drives him to the point where he wants a way in. He wants to do that to her, but he can't. And it makes him angry to the point that he throws his little strop and tears the phone off her and kicks her cubicle around.
So
because ideally,
like
he'd
that.
just...
Yeah.
Why not just do that?
Yes.
He can't. There's no way in.
His MO is thwarted.
Yeah. Yeah. Just a thought.
Yeah, no, I like that. Good thought.
Thanks, man.
Good thought. So, yeah, a very niche celebratory day, International CSL Office Day.
Which they decided to go with a corridor rather than a stairwell, didn't they, for one of the cameras?
Yeah. I didn't look that closely at the...
There's no stairs. It's just a long
It's just
corridor.
that long corridor. Oh, is that?
And actually,
Yeah.
it all seems to be on the bottom floor. It doesn't look like it's on the first floor, like it says the Exeter National CSL Office Day says it's on the first floor. But it seems that would make life difficult for Liz in a chair, wouldn't it?
Yeah, well, she's only in a chair because it's like the office chair that she sat on.
Oh, it's just wheeling around on that.
Yeah, that's what I meant. She doesn't take
I'm going to be honest.
She doesn't take it home.
A couple of minutes ago, when you said, yeah, she's just wheeling around the office, I thought, she wasn't in a wheelchair.
No.
And I thought, maybe I missed that.
No,
maybe
it's just
she is.
an office. You know how you like scoot around in an office chair?
I'm on one right now.
Go on.
Except it won't move. I'm on carpet. There we go.
Watch out, there's bottles behind you.
She's not in a wheelchair.
No, she's not in a wheelchair. No, she's just in her office chair. But then, so this bit where the pen seed returns,
Chekhov's pen.
Chekhov's pen, which is only a page later. Andy says, Liz, do you have a spare pen there? Liz says, no, sorry. Well, we could act this out if you want, but
if you'd like to.
Yeah, let's do it. Go on. You can
you
be Liz.
Where are we at here?
International CSL Office Day. 4 hours later, Andy sits at the booth. He looks a little bored.
I've got it. Yeah.
He is looking at the puzzles page in his newspaper. On cam 2, we see George in his office. On cam 4, we see an attractive business-like woman, Joanne, walk down the stairs towards the office. You can be Liz.
Cheers, man.
Because I'm Andy.
I can't remember what she sounds like.
Northern.
Okay.
Liz, do you have a spare pen there?
I had an accent in mind, and then as soon as I start, no, sorry.
That's good. Joanne enters the office, cam 3, and walks to her booth. Andy cranes his neck to see her.
Don't even go there.
What? No, I'm just trying to work out who everyone is. Liz wheels across to Andy.
Joanne Chillingham, which is appropriate because she's colder than a witch's tit.
Really?
Oh, yeah. You get more compassion from an answer phone. 2 words. A void.
No, that's a clever little pun, isn't it? A void. She is a void, yes. And do avoid. Yeah, so there we go.
Commentary there.
So Stuart Lee style, commentating on your own. Not
well, that's what we're here for. We're here to point out the clever wordplay for those that haven't realised.
Exactly. And there's so Liz answers the phone rings. Just before Andy gets his first phone call, isn't it? So Liz is distracted by the phone ringing at her booth. She says, "Hello, Comfort Support Line. How can I help you?" And then the bit, there's like a line about, "Have you tried using a spoon? It might work." Yeah. That's not in the script. So I don't know if she.
Oh no, it's not, is it?
I don't know if she made that up or whether it was just like
Jane Horrocks is just having some fun.
Exactly. Yeah.
This page also contains one of my favourite bits of direction.
What's that?
Silence. Andy hears breathing. Andy wonders to George whether this might be masturbatory, but George shakes his head. That's a great word.
Masturbatory. Yeah. I love that. And the fact that it's...
With the wanking gesture as well.
It's he wanders. It's not even like a conversation that goes on.
No.
The direction is, can you wander that? And then George knows exactly what you've wandered.
I'd like you to wonder if this might be masturbatory or masturbatory. I don't know how to pronounce that word.
I prefer masturbatory. I think that's that's strong. I like it.
But it implies the existence possibly of a masturbatorium.
Well,
which is
they've been outlawed for now.
You said that as like you were about to front a campaign to bring them back.
Masturbatoriums.
What do we want? Masturbatoriums. When do we want them?
Or would they be masturbatory? If you
don't masturbatory your eyes.
Right, we've got distracted.
We've gone down a line here.
Yeah, that then sets up that horrific first phone call.
It's so horrible.
Which
I'm just glad you didn't say anything about terminating the call.
And that's where you get your first glimpse of George as a... I mean, that's not
a twisted individual.
Not highly professional as the person... Because he comes across nicely when he's like, don't beat yourself up. It went well, it was good. And then he undermines that whole thing by saying, I'm just glad you didn't talk about terminating the call.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Really, George?
And then we have another little bit of added...
I'm not sure I want to do these.
No?
I'm reading them and thinking, I'm not sure I want to say this.
No, I know.
On a podcast.
No, I know. We can...
I would say if it's brown, take it straight back. I'll say that one.
You are Liz.
I am Liz.
We don't have anyone to play Griff voice.
Gruff.
I'm reading that as Griff. It's Welsh.
It's Griff Rhys-Jones.
Griff voice.
Griff's voice.
Hello, I'm Griff voice.
I like
Max voice.
Your matter of fact stating that you're just reading it wrong. No, I'm reading that as Griff.
I'm reading that as
Griff. It's a wrong vowel.
The Griff voice hangs up.
Griff Vice.
Yep.
Andy hands up.
There's just some bits there that aren't included in the show.
I don't know whether it's just a time thing or whether they just felt a bit needless.
Yeah, I guess it's an attempt at just showing the nature of the sorts of phone calls they get, which is people just basically taking the piss, like ringing to then shout offensive stuff at the person that they've rung and then hanging up.
They weren't even masturbatory.
No. Not even masturbatory.
Masturbatory. People are just listening to this, hearing you quietly say.
Just whispering. Weird.
Like being on the end of the comfort support line.
Exactly. Yeah, and you get wait a second. No, looking in the wrong place. Oh yeah, some of the directions, probably in keeping with what we've just sort of omitted there. There's some more extreme directions than actually happen in the show. So when Andy meets Joanne and he's got his drink because he's just been on a phone call that's lasted way too long, and he's needed to do a wee in a cup, and Joanne says, I'll let you finish your drink. And there's that really awkward thing of like, I mean, he hasn't even started his drink. So, but he's got that drink in his hand, and it's that like
Stop calling it a drink. It's not a drink.
cup of wee wee. And in the directions it says Andy picks up his cup and makes to take a sip as Joanne leaves. He holds it to his lips until she leaves, then puts it back down, spitting. Does that insinuate that he took a small mouthful, or is it just like a spitting?
Makes to take a sip. Well, he holds it to his lips. So he tips it. Then he doesn't open his mouth to let it in, but it just rests on his lips, and that's why he then goes.
Yeah, so it just moistens his lips.
So this is actually the first time we meet Joanne in what made it to the screen, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I was trying to work out whether we really lost anything with the conversation about Liz bitching about her disappearing. I don't feel like we did.
No.
But what did it give? It gave the fact that Liz didn't like her.
I think that's what
Is that about
was.
it?
Yeah. Yeah, it was yeah.
I mean, it might give Andy more of a shove into thinking that she's on the end of the phone calls. Because he does think that. Initially, he thinks that Joanne's got something to do with it. So maybe that background information might make that more likely, because he does kind of leap to it a bit. So maybe that's the only thing that it gives.
And that the fact that Andy cranes his neck to see Joanne in that bit that's omitted, and then Liz says, "Don't even go there," and then it's like a, "Whoa, no, I'm just trying to work out whoever." It's almost like seeding a. Well, either something in Andy's mind about Joanne, or it's just giving that background of Liz being maybe jealous or envious of Joanne in some way. Maybe, you know, I don't know, thinking. Well, I don't know, because it's not like she shows any interest in romantically involving herself with Andy, but
no, well, she just seems to like to be involved in
everything.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
There's another Joanne moment that disappeared.
Is there?
Oh yeah, we lose the one when you know, the second Chloe call and Andy's got the trainee with him.
Oh yeah.
He says, "Well, that's not how we do it in Wood Green," after he tells Chloe to fuck off and slams the phone down. Michael sits for a moment in stunned silence. "Well, that's not how we do it in Wood Green." Joanne stands up from her booth and looks across. "Everything all right, Andy?" "Fine." Again, like Joanne kind of drifts into the background a bit.
Yeah.
She becomes quite a big part at the end.
I think she kind of, you feel like she's more gluish than, like she's presented as a bit of a
incidental character who's just sort of around.
But I think she's aware. She knows, even her coming up to get her bag, like there could be something in the fact that she's like, something weird's going on. Like, I'm going to check in, maybe even with Andy. And that would link in with that, like, "Everything all right, Andy?" As if she knows that things are going on, like with the person that Andy's replaced, that maybe there's more to it internally than meets the eye or is being suspected. I don't know. It might be reading more into that than is. But
she does become quite crucial because she's there to help sort of crack it at the end, isn't it? And I guess if she hadn't come back, then perhaps Andy would have just settled on it being her. And by the time it raised the alarm, George could have gotten rid of all of the tapes. Why the tapes are there?
It's not very clever, is it?
Well, it's that, or it's like a perverse, sick thing of him wanting to, film himself doing it. And that...
Masturbatory
material. Yeah. And actually, in the reveal, they made it a lot more sinister by stopping it when they did.
Yeah, I thought such when he chilling scene.
I'm 16.
Yeah,
stopping it there made it a whole lot more sinister.
And because you can see
stopping at the 16,
you see him coming up the corridor as well at that point as well, don't you? Yeah, I'm 16.
Where is it?
Actually, there's loads missing from that as well, isn't there?
Yeah, because they actually let it carry on. How old are you, Chloe? I'm 16. And then, well, there you are. You're still very young. You've got the whole life ahead of you. I mean, I guess the thing is we've already seen this conversation, so we don't really need to hear it from the other end.
No.
Again.
In the script, it goes all the way through to him singing Take That, doesn't it?
Yeah. George, I mean, it's got the slightly... I mean, the really weird... Actually, not slightly, really weird bit of him listening to Andy singing to him and...
Yeah.
Grinning and but I feel like it makes it worse when they just stop it at the I'm 16.
Yeah, and the sound of the it's like the engaged tone, isn't it? Like the
yeah. I still haven't quite managed to reconcile him not really sounding the same.
And it's slightly frustrating, isn't it? Because it's like that isn't Reese on the phone,
unless it is, unless maybe he's got a voice changing app of some sort.
That's how I
have chosen to convince myself it's fine.
Yeah, exactly. I've retrospectively justified it. It depends because on the cast list there's 5 callers. If one of them was Chloe,
is there so there's the only female callers he gets or we hear are the old lady, and Chloe, aren't they?
The one who had the abortion.
Oh yeah. So there's only there's 3 females on the callers list.
I reckon the old lady's Vilma Holgenbury.
You reckon? Hollingbury.
Sorry, I'm doing this in the dark. I can't read.
You're just putting letters in the wrong place again.
What did I say?
Holgenbury.
I just miss IKEA.
Holling.
I miss IKEA.
Oh, you like that wardrobe, do you? That's the Holgenbury.
No, I like to have a glass of Holgenbury juice afterwards.
Do you?
Yeah, after my trip. Hot dog and a Holgenbury.
Vilma.
Or it could be Kath Hughes or Vicky Hall. Anyone.
Vicky Hall.
Yeah, anyone.
Yeah. It's all true.
Yeah. It's pure speculation. I really like Michael. You know, when Michael does his call and he answers the phone, he says, "Hello, comfort and support line."
Yeah.
It's like, that's actually what it is. Comfort. It's comfort and support, rather.
Yeah, not comfort support.
What comfort support isn't?
Are they missing an un?
Comfort
and support line.
Sounds like a bra. Yeah. And the other thing that's not in the script, there's not many names you can give to a cow these days.
Yeah. What a line that was.
I mean, we talked about that line in depth in the original podcast.
And due to your disclaimer, we can't really talk about it again. So
no, but what we can say is that it's not in the script. So it's either ad-libbed or added in. There's
not many names you can give a cow without seeming like an idiot.
Such a good line. Without seeming like an idiot.
I want to know what the other end of that conversation is. I want to know what's happening.
I know.
What's led to that point that leads to that line being delivered?
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, the only other thing that I made a note of really was the fact they reigned in the end, because...
Man, they really did. Because that's a horrific ending.
Yeah.
Glenn has already pulled out a small gun and shot him in the head. Blood covers the camera lens.
It's Quiet Night In style.
It is. I don't know, maybe whether they thought it would look like it was starting to become a bit of a recurring shot, and they didn't
Literally.
they didn't want to do that.
Yeah.
Face on the camera, bullet to the back of the head.
The slightly up in the air notion, like, because you don't know if he shot him. I think that's quite good.
Yeah, that's rather final, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, him, blood covering the camera lens. You kind of know.
Game over for Andy at that point, isn't it?
This has gone in one direction. Yeah. Take that.
Another one. Oh, these jokes are on another level, mate. No, not again.
What? That was Zanzibar, wasn't it?
It was Zanzibar, yeah. That got out of control. I think actually Lauren said this is out of control.
And when Lauren saes this is out of control, you need to stop.
It's out of control. Yeah. I'm sure that there's another. I'm sure we've had another like almost censoring bit. I can't remember where it is in this series, but I can't think what it is.
What do you mean?
Where they've been a bit more gratuitous in the scripts than it ended up being in.
Yeah, I think we have.
It's not Gadge.
It might have been. Was it the harrowing?
I can't think of anything in the harrowing that happened in the script that wasn't filmed.
No, maybe not.
No, I'll ponder on it.
You ponder on it.
I will.
Cool.
See, you got more out of this than you thought we would.
What have we done? About half an hour?
Yeah, it's not been bad.
Okay.
There you go.
Cool.
More than Gadge.
Yeah, in the end. We'll talk about that in a second.
We'll have some words. We won't talk about it in front of you lot. The parents are going to retire to the other room and not shout in front of the kids. Not now, mate. We're all having a nice evening.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it later.
Way to ruin a party. Good. Cool. Yeah. If anyone has any extra thoughts to add to this, please fire away.
I'm enjoying the fact that there's all this news coming out about the new series, and people think that we're just going to drop what we're doing at the drop of a hat and
we're seeing
rush
this project through.
Look, what
end of series 3.
I don't know what they think this is. I think we've just not committed to this, and they think we're just filling space and time, and that Reese and Steve click their fingers and we go running. I think not.
No.
How little you think of us. Just pretending that the series isn't happening and just recording exactly what you want. I'm not even watching it. I don't feel like I can commit to this side of the project and watch the new ones. So
I think that's fair enough.
People are just although to be honest, I'm sort of building this up in my head that people are somehow going to be waiting for our takes on things, but
no one's waiting for our takes.
If I were you, I'd just watch it and think what you think.
I mean, I'm slightly scared of the fact that, if
we'll be on the same level as everyone else.
Well, there's absolutely no, like, I'm guessing we'll record the episode of the podcast like pretty much the same week as we first see the new episode.
Same night.
You
know what? Just live.
Immediately
reaction
after.
Live.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Exactly.
During.
Watch along.
During.
Reaction episodes.
During. We've got 10 minutes at the end to just sum up some final thoughts, and that's it. It's a 40-minute podcast.
What a horrible way to live your life.
Right, we're in. So, I'm seeing this. I'm seeing this. I'm seeing this.
Steve,
what did you think
Steve
of all that,
Reese
then? I'm just confused. We'll see you next week for another one.
We saw things, we heard things. See you later.
Thanks.
If you have any thoughts. Yeah. Good. Cool. Cool. On that note, if you've got any thoughts, just
A frantic night inside number 9.
email us, tweet us. quietnightinsideno9@gmail.com or AQNIN9 with an at the beginning. That's the Twitter thing.
If you try without, it just won't work.
It doesn't.
It would just be like you're tweeting something starting with that.
Yeah, it's not a word. It's like kafofi or coffee or whatever. All right. Have a good week.
Yeah. You too.
See ya.
Bye.
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 Bye.